Alright, so anyway, I got a story about this weekend. It was great. Oh yeah, the name of the section is Lovable Bullshit. Lovable Bullshit. Lovable Bullshit. So anyway, Kirk, how was your weekend, by the way? Oh, okay, alright, yeah. Yeah. Well, I went to my Uncle Jeffrey's. It was, it was alright. It was an okay weekend. I went over there, and he's a pretty rich guy, so he had just had, two motorcycles actually imported from Germany. Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't know where he would live. You've never been there before. It's a beautiful place that you'll never see. But anyway, so he had just had these motorcycles imported, and the neat part about it was I had never driven a motorcycle before, which was kind of cool. So he hadn't tested them yet, so he said, hey Kirk, why don't we take these suckers out for a race? And I said, okay, well, whatever, I've never driven a motorcycle before, but, I'll try anything once. So, yeah, so I was right up for it. So anyway, we hopped on the motorcycles, and he didn't have to show me how to use it. I picked it up pretty easily. And, we drove out of his driveway, and we went, a little out of town, and we were about to hit up the highway. Anyway, so we were at this intersection that, had, like, three things that went into town, and then the other one went onto the highway. And so, anyway, we took off at the green light, and then we started our race. So we were going, like, we started at about 90, but we weren't too slow to kick it up to about 140 kilometers an hour. So, we were driving pretty comfortably. And anyway, I was losing. My uncle was ahead of me, Uncle Jeffrey, who you've never met. But anyway, he was up ahead of me, and I was going a decent speed, so I decided, okay, I gotta get ahead of him somehow. But it was only a one-lane highway, like, so I was waiting, and I couldn't go because there was traffic in the other lane, obviously. So anyway, I decided to be the clever person that I am, and I drove into the ditch. And I used the dirty ditch water stuff to actually speed up, and then when I got close enough to my Uncle Jeffrey, I used the ditch as a ramp to, up out of the ditch and air over him into the other lane. Now I was in the wrong lane of traffic, though, so had any car, been coming, I would have been dead instantly. And so, anyway, I'm driving, and I'm up ahead, and then we make this turn, and then I find out that there's a cop car right beside me. So, anyway, the cop's looking at me, and, he's yelling at me through his megaphone to slow down, but, obviously I didn't want to get arrested because I was speeding, really, hefty over the speed limit. I was going, an extra 70 kilometers an hour at this point. I was, like, almost at 190. And, anyway, so he's yelling at me to pull over, so I decided, okay, if I'm going to get out of jail, I have to do something quick. So I used my old cleverness again, and I reached into my coat pocket, and I actually grabbed a beer. And, a bottle of beer. And so, seeing that his window was down, I tossed the beer over into his car door, and he caught it. And then, anyway, as soon as he caught it, he popped it open, and then he chugged it down, and then his frown turned into a smile. It was great. And then, so then he was smiling, and then he was kind of, showing off a little bit, and then finally he decided to wave me off. And then I won the race. It was great. So your weekend wasn't bad, eh?